Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
बलिहारी गुरु आपने त्योहारी सदवार जिन मानस ते देवते किए करत न लागी वार जे सो चंदा उग वह सूरज चढ़े हजार एते चारण होंदिया गुर बिन घोर अंधार भूले मार्ग जिने बताया ऐसा गुर वड भागी पाया ऐसा गुर वड भागी पाया। सासंग जी राम जी फतेह पान जी वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Sasanji, thank you so much to the Gurdwara committee and the good Sikhs who asked us to come today to do some Katha. Actually, just this morning, there was a lovely video I saw on YouTube, which was released yesterday, but by some good Sikhs in this country about unity. And today we're going to talk about a new way forward. But before we go into the new way forward, I want to start with a line from Bhai Gurdas Ji. Bhai Gurdas Ji is one of the most well-respected Sikhs of our time. If you want to know their history, we know that their Taya Ji was Guru Amar Das Ji. They were the mama of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. They were the Sikh of Guru Ram Das. Bhai Gurdas Ji was a Pracharik. He was one of the Manjis. He wrote Guru Granth Sahib Ji as Guru Arjan Dev Ji, which are from their mouth. And they have been given the honor and the respect that their writings are like a key to understanding Sikhi and what is a Sikh's life. Now Bhai Gurdas Ji, on top of being this great Guru Sikh, is also a great poet. Bhai Gurdas Ji writes, he gives an example in life, sometimes what we need when we have a problem and what could go wrong. He says, look, when there's a fire, people look for water. Pani mangte henge, je aag hove. And when they find that water, they put the fire out. What would happen if the water was on fire? He asked that question. Because people, they worry about their possessions, about getting theft. So they build great fortresses and they live inside a fortress. Even ourselves nowadays, we get burglar alarms, we get a stronger house, we put a wall outside. But what would happen if it's inside that house, if we get robbed, looked again, inside the house, in the fortress? He says, look, people outside, they're worried about injustices happening to them. So they go to the king for justice. What would happen if the king himself was a person who was doing injustice? Then they said, "Ki good Sikh ki karna." They use these examples and they come back to a Sikh. Jada Sikh hai, they say, the Sikh is scared of Maya. Not in the normal way, but the Sikh doesn't want to go into Maya. And the Sikh comes to the Gurdwara. Abhi asi kehte hain ki I want to go to Gurdwara, I want peace. I want peace in the Gurdwara. Maya for us is that dukh. Maya is dukh. And Naam is the peace and happiness. So the good Sikh is outside, they're living in the world, and they're seeing all the havoc in the world, all the ego, all the problems. And they come to Gurdwara, they go, over here I'll find peace. because my Guru is my Sukhdata. My Guru is, we all know that even when we're out and about and we come down on our luck, you might even be homeless. But we know if we come to Gurdwara, they'll give us food. There'll be a nice cup of tea waiting for us. And we feel that love for our Guru because we know if we come here, we'll find happiness here. No matter what we know, no matter how much we're doing following Sikhi, we know that where Guru Nanak Dev Ji is, that's where we're going to find the truth and peace in this world. But he says, Ki Maya Dar. The Guru Sikh is scared of Maya, Darpat Hare. He's lost the fight against Maya, Har Gaya. Gurdwara Aave comes to the Gurdwara. Because what would happen if in that Gurdwara, Maya is there? If in the Gurdwara there is Maya, where will we rest? So Sasangat Ji, we can look nowadays in our world, we can say, if in our house, if in our Gurdwara, if on our Panth, Maya has come inside there, where Maya has no rule, where the Sacha Pasha, Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji is supposed to rule. Sajjan Sacha Pasha, Sir Shahade Shaho, Jis paas baith here, so he did. Sabna Dave Saho. If he's our support, if he's the one that we turn to, what would happen if in his house, in his kingdom, if Maya has come there? So the first step against Maya is always truth. Where there is falsehood and darkness, that's what is called Kaljug. Kuda. Even in the beginning of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Maharaj says, Kiv Sachiara hoiye. Kiv Kude tutte par. This wall, Maharaj says, is made out of kud, falsehood, darkness. And Satyar is like the light. Like we talked about just now. That even if there was 100 moons and 1,000 suns, without the Guru, we'd be in darkness. So Sikhi is trying to dispel the darkness. And truth is really what we set up. But in Satya Balwandi Var, Ramdali Ki Var, so Satya Ji, they say this. They say ki Nanak Raj Chalaya. Nanak ne Raj Chalaya. Satya Kod Satani Deep. That the foundation for this Raj was truth. Truth. And we say the big Japji Sahib, Ad Satya, Jugad Satya, Happy Satya, Nanak Hosi Ki Satya. Truth is our way. In our Sadiwar, it says ki Satya Sabna Hoye Daru, Paap Kade Toye. That the truth is the medicine for all of us, and it wipes out our path. If we follow the way of truth, the first thing we need to do is start being truthful about what's happening in the world. It's a new year. And they say you go to AA, addicts and alcohol, they say the first thing you got to do, you got to put your hands up and you got to say, what are you? You have to stand up and say, I'm an alcoholic. Then you can solve that problem. So many of the problems that we have in our path, we need to put our hands up like this and say we have these problems. They're not going to go away by magic. They can be solved, but we need to start by only knocking them. So Sangaji, if we look at our house, if we even keep Punjab as one of the main houses of our Panth, yes, we're in Australia, yes, we're in America, yes, we're in Canada, and we're here. But where's the whole Akal Takht side, Harmandir side? Where are all these things? They're in Punjab, right? We know that Punjab is, even normally the Punjabi hoti hai. Punjab is very important to us. What's happening to Punjab right now? Let's start from there. What's happening to our house? Right now, Punjab is drowning. Not in water, but the lack of water. Punjab at the moment is full of drugs and alcohol. They say it's the 6th river of Punjab. It's that bad. So many of our youth in India are now addicted to drugs and alcohol. The statistics are so scary. 1 in 5, 1 in 6. Not only that, the farmers are killing themselves. They're full of suicide. They've got so many debts, they're killing themselves. On their globe, we think the farmer at least will be happy. Why would the farmer be happy? Because he at least is growing his own food. No matter what's going on in the world, he's got his own food. But that's not the case. That is not the case at the moment in Punjab. We have drugs and alcohol problems. We have debt, farmer suicide. We got female feticide. Women are under danger in our Panth. The same Panth that said the minute that there's going to be any person who kills a daughter, they're out of this Panth. It's the only Panth I know where you can get excommunicated for killing your daughter. Puri man. Guru Gobind Singh said, if you do that, you're out of this Panth forever. Also, in Punjab is a cancer train. Punjab is one of the biggest incidents of cancer in the world. Satati used to be Hariavali. That land was the land of 5 rivers. Now, it's a cancer train. The train is full of people that have got cancer. You look at what's happening in India and in Punjab, you'll be shocked. Education standards are so low in Punjab. Sikhi Punjab is 0. It's not happening. People are turning away from Sikhi, they're becoming Christians or they're becoming other religions, but they're not following Sikhi. It's really bad. But if our house is being burnt, if right now our house is being burnt, what are we doing about it? There's deities that are using this to their advantage. There's sects that have come up in India, Ashtosh, all these people, they never existed. They never existed. Where did they come from? In Punjab now, we can buy pills of Sukni Sahib. People will sell you a Sukni Sahib pill, maybe 1 Sukni Sahib, maybe 50 Sukni Sahibs in the one goli. They say कि उन्होंने 5 मिल जाना. Kaljug, we talk about now, Maya has scared leta sana. Not even scared leta around our house, it's come inside our house, it's actually killing us inside our house. So Sasanji, what's the answer to all of this? We'll wait for a second. Let's even just look at this country. I know it might be starting a bit harsh, but we've got to put our hands up and say this is what's happening. Do you get it? What's happening in this country abroad? If we look at our kids, I was talking yesterday to one of the Vice Houses in Sangat. In the kids that go to school nowadays, the Sikh kids, they know the least about their faith. This is the fact. I've been to schools to talk about them. The Muslims, the Hindus, the Christians, they know more about their faith than the Sikh kids know about their faith. Imagine that. Sikh is not cool. When we go to school to do talks, the Sikh kids don't ask you any questions. It's the Hindus and the Muslims that ask you questions. How can this Panth not be cool? This is the Panth where people walk around with swords. You get us? There's a Gurdwara that became a singer in this country, Cloud Singh. He became a singer because he wanted to ride motorcycles and he didn't like helmets. He didn't like to not be allowed to carry a sword, a weapon. He actually became a Singh after he saw that Singhs can get away without a turban and Singhs can get away without having a sword. He's a Singh now. He does Gurdwara visits and school visits. Can you imagine that? People come into Sikhi from so many different ways, but the Sikh kids now start thinking, oh, Sikhi is not cool. Even with the kids that come into Sikhi, they do Prachar and they connect to Sikhi camps, other places. We get the kids into Sikhi, they go home, and their parents aren't interested. The Sikh kids that want to get into Sikhi, their parents tell them, Tusi Amrit na shako. If a kid went now today to the house and said, I want to take Amrit, 50% of the time in our Panth right now, the parents would say, think about it. Are you sure? Tera byan nahi hona. Tera to niban nahi hona. You won't be able to do your part. Jithe we celebrate Shahzade Zorawar Singh and Baba Fateh Singh Shahidi, they were Amritari as well. At that age, 6 or 7 and 9, they were Amritari. But now we're scared of getting our kids to take Amrit when they're young. Don't force them. That's what we say. Force me nahi manda hai, but we should be stopping them. Let's put our hands up for a few more things. When we're talking on the way up here. In the old days, if you got into a car, a Singh got into a train or a bus in India, the people would get peace and calm. Aa gaya. Singh aa gaya, Sardar ji aa gaye ne. Yeah, it's all right now. What reputation do we have in this country? If a Punjabi go into a train nowadays, what reputation do we have? With hard drinkers, sharabi, fighters. Most people don't even know Sikhs meditate. They do not know that Sikhs meditate. On Shuru Kita from Simran, people don't even know what that is. And they walk around with a Quran on their hand. They go, I'm a Sikh. They don't know what Sikhi is in this life. And I say this because I was that person, Sabha. I was 21. I was drinking. I was at university and I never thought Sikhs meditated. The day I met a Singh, and the Singh said to me, we should be looking at girls, and then he fell off my chair. I was like, but that's all we do. That's all we do. We go to Nagar Kirtans and we check out the Kudiya. I can't believe we don't do that. And he goes, it's Sikhi nahi Sikhi. It's Sikhi nahi hai. You just don't know what Sikhi is. So, where we were the warriors, we were the gentlemen, we were the protectors, we were the policemen, now that name is gone. Now we're the hard drinking, hard partying people. And I don't even want to go into what's happening with the respect of our women. What kind of name that the Panth has got for all the Sikh girls. So, but what's our response? What's the current response from our Panth? We look at ourselves, we think, do we have a national prachar movement in this country? Do we have a national prachar movement in India? Do we have a de-addiction movement? Do we have a farmers' education movement? Is there one that we know about that is big, that we are funding, that we've actually taken on, that we are being attacked, and now we turn around and say, oh, we're going to fight back? You sit there and say, alright, kari jao. No. If we're the warriors, jabe maan lagyo, tabe roz jagyo. If we're those people that are going to turn around and give an answer, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when he started his kingdom, and he started it on the foundation of truth, that means he did something. When Maharaj saw people starving, they started London. When Maharaj saw women who were being forced to go onto the funeral pyre of their husband, Maharaj outlawed sati for Sikhs, allowed remarriage. Maharaj always gave us an answer. Where's our answer? What are we doing nowadays to respond to these things? So actually, if you look at here in this country, what we see actually is disunity. We see people arguing all the time. All of our time is spent arguing about 1% or maybe 5% of things. 95% of those things that unite us, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Sangat, who does Matha take to that Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the people that say ki Nanak Naam Chardi Kala. Those people that say Chardi Kala is only from Naam, and that comes from Nanak, and we want Sarbat da Pala, they're the ones that are our friends, but they're the ones that we're all arguing with. And the arguments, we've got more than enough resources right now at our disposal in this fund to sort out all the problems. Dekh lo, we've got so many Gurdwara in this country. Beyond, we've got so many lecture theatres. We have so much Maya in our Panth. We're one of the richest communities in this country. Why can't we solve these problems? It would take 1 year for us to solve all the problems. 2, 5 years. Where's our Panthic 1 year plan? Where's our Panthic 5 year plan? Let's talk about education. In the Gurdwaras nowadays, the youth have to educate other youth. We have to fight against committees to do Punjab. Look, in this Gurdwara right now, you've got Connected Sikhi camp. You've invited someone to do a Katha in English. This does not happen in every Gurdwara. Some Gurdwara you have to fight to get half an hour on the stage. Some Gurdwara you want to teach people Sikhi, they'll say you can't even have a Gurmat class. The youth of this country, let's be honest about it, have lost all faith in the Gurdwara committees. They have no connection to these people. The people who are supposed to be our leaders. Leaders used to Nawab Kapoor Singh. When he said, Chalo, hundreds and thousands of Sikhs stood behind him and said, Chalo. When Sant Baba Janaz stood up and said, let's go, we're going to do this, people stood up. What's happening with our leaders now? Nowadays our leaders are only insistent upon making sure the Panth doesn't go forward rather than go backwards. We have to put our hands up to these things. And there's no solution. There's always a solution in Sikhi. Because we've been given one of the greatest things in the world. Now I want to talk about just this Gurdwara for a minute, because some of the things that I'm talking about can seem very negative. Look, we've got a gym here in Seven Kings Gurdwara. Not many Gurdwara have that as well. The homeless thing that happened recently over the winter is still going on right now. Let people come into the Gurdwara. Nimanya de man, Nitanya de tan, Neotyan de ot. We say that, but we have to put it into practice. Somewhere is there. If it wasn't here, then this Panth would actually be gone. We haven't died yet. Plenty of fight left in this Panth yet. Wherever the problems are, Maharaj always sends the solutions. And the biggest solution we've been given is Gurbani and Guru Granth Sahib Ji. The question we have to ask is, in all these things, is it because of the world or is it because of us? What I mean by that is, has Sikhi gone where it is now only because we forgot it? Or have we been made to forget it? Is there some higher force that's trying to destroy us? And I would say, yes, there is. There's a conspiracy. And our people are involved in that same conspiracy. The people that we say are Sikhs, they've been led astray. Now, we said at the beginning, Bhule marg jine bataya, aisa gur vad bhagi paya. There is a way out of this Chakravyuh. You know what Chakravyuh is? It's that famous battle tactic, the Mahabharata. They were stuck inside this Chakravyuh. Only one person had the way out. For us, it's our Guru. So the way out of this conundrum that we're facing is through Guru, but we have to understand why do they want to kill us? Why is there a movement across the world to wipe out Sikhi? What are we sitting on? What have we got? You don't kill somebody for no reason. There's got to be some reason behind it. What is this great thing that we keep saying? What is that we have that they want to get rid of? So we'll go into that in a second. Now the Sangat is here, and let's calm down a little bit. Let's do a little bit more Simran, and then we'll go back into, let's explore this question. Why are they trying to wipe out Sikhi? Why are all these problems here facing it, and what's the way out? So please just join with us now. Let's sing to Guru Nanak. Say, Maharaj, show us the solution out of this, Maharaj.
Guru Nanak, Guru Nanak, Guru Nanak,
Kabir ji says something very interesting. Kabir ji says, look, people are thirsty. If you met somebody who was thirsty, but is sitting next to a river, he goge. You say, drink up. He says, Kabir ji says, Kabir, Pal Samuha Sarvar Para. The Sarvar is Sarovar. Pal Samuha Sarvar Para. Pina sake koi need, the water. No one can drink it. Why not? But Kabir ji says, Kabir, Badde, Paag Badde te payo, tu par piyo Kabir. Very lucky he is, because I found it, I'm so lucky, and I'm drinking up big gulps. Par piyo Kabir. Kasanji, I have to tell the Sikhs that might not know this, we have the most amazing religion in the world. It's unheard of. Some of the things that our Gurus have done has been unheard of. No one even thought about it, and they done it. These things, these examples are done. The philosophy, the history, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's amazing. Sikhi does not need us to sell it to someone. When something is so amazing, you just take it. Sikhi doesn't need selling, it needs telling. We don't need to preach Sikhi, we need to teach Sikhi. It's that beautiful, you just tell them what it is. It's that amazing. So Sangaji, I can tell you now, if we don't have this truth of Sikhi, Maharaj tells us what's going to happen. Sansar rogi, naam daru, main lage sach kehna. Without this truth of owning up the truth and then following our Guru's mat, Maharaj says you will be rogi, a diseased person. The medicine is here, doctor's given it to you. Guru Sahib is a doctor, hai na? Mera bad Guru Gobinda, har har naam, okhad mukh deve, kaate jam ki phanda. Our Guru says our doctor. Medicine is lying on our shelves in the form of a Gurdwara sahib, in the form of a CD of Gurbani. It's lying there. But people aren't having the medicine, The medicine is here, we must take the medicine. But we need to start taking that medicine. On the way up here, we listen to Sabha Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pasha. They say, Piyo dade da khol ditta khajana, ta mera man paya nidana. I opened the treasure of my dad and my granddad. Well, who is their dad? Guru Ram Das Ji. Who is their Nana Ji? Their Nana Ji is Guru Amar Das Ji. They open up the Pothiyan and they go, now look at this. I see this treasure of my dad and I'm so happy. When we come to Gurdwara and we open up Guru Granth Sahib Ji, does our mind jump with joy? Say, look what I found, the treasure of Gurbani. Gur ka shabad ratan hai. We do it every morning in Anand Sahib. And we always say, Japji Sahib, Mat Vijatan Jawahar Manik, Je Ek Gur Ki Sikh Suni. We will get jewels and diamonds here. We will get the treasure that you can't buy anywhere else. What is that treasure? Naam. Satya, Naam. The Naam is only going to come from the truth as well. Satya Milna Naam. But to go back to truth and understand where we are, we have to go back to Sikhi. And Maharaj says in Gurbani, Ki sadhu sang sikhayo naam. In the satsang here, we are learning one thing. What is a Sikh? If a Sikh is a learner, what are they learning? Not morals, naam. The most important thing is connecting to Vaheguru. Maharaj says next, Gur Prasad Sahaj Kar Paya, Mitya Andera, Chand Chadiya. This line, it needs someone to explain it. You can't understand it. Might be up here now. Gur Prasad Sahaj Kar Paya, Mitya Andera, Chand Chadiya. The English translation will say, darkness is gone and the moon has come up. You might think, oh, why moon? Why not the sun? Why the moon, why not the sun? Is it a good question to ask about this book? Because if we're going to do Vichar Gurbani, we will ask Maharaj, Kyon? What does this mean? What do you mean that in my kar, Sahaj Kar Paya? So the basic concepts of Sikhi are getting lost because we're not teaching Sikhi. The basic fundamentals, not the complicated stuff. Every single person can argue about meat here for as long as you want. People can argue about Ragmala versus non-Ragmala, whether you need to keep your cash or not keep your cash for a long time. But what about this? This Gurbani, what does this mean? The moon. The moon is Guru. Guru Sahib is the moon. Because the moon, Sankaji, does not have its own light. The moon reflects the light of the sun. Guru Nanak Ji is the moon who reflects the light of Vaheguru. Chandra is Guru. Because in Kal Yug, it's a dark, moonless night. It is a dark night. No one knows what's going on in Kal Yug. We're lost. And Maharaj calls it a Kood Amavas Vatya. It's a moonless night of Kood, of falsehood. And Guru Nanak just comes as that moon to give the light. And then it says, Mitya Andera. What is that darkness? Is it just light? Like we come into Gurdwara and put the lights on. Or do we say, Mitya Andera, Chand Chadiya? No, it's not that Andera, is it? We know it's inside us. It's the mind darkness. It's the enlightenment. Spirituality, Sikhi. What we saw was there, isn't there. What is there, we couldn't see. That's what darkness is. If you walk outside now, in pitch darkness, and something touched your leg, you might jump. It might look wavy. It might look like a snake. You might even in your mind start thinking, snake bit me. Main mar gaya. What if that person fell down on the floor, hold on to his leg and starts crying, oh, sapne mainu kar deta, oh, main mar jana, oh, bachao ji. And you came upon that person, you turned the light on. Say, it's a rope. It was only a rope to dar gaya si. This example is in Gurbani. I didn't make this up. Maharaj says, you looked at a snake and it was only a rope. What a wonderful thing. So enlightenment means that what we saw was there, isn't there. What we thought was there, isn't there. What wasn't there, what is there, we can't see. Maharaj has come to give us this enlightenment. Where do we come from? Then we can go back. Now we understand the light is about enlightenment and we have to go back. So when it says Chand Chadiya, Guru is a Chand. Mitya Andera means enlightenment from inside. Then we go back along this line, then we say, okay, what did I have then? What made this go? Sahaj Kar Paya. Sahaj means contentment, peace, equipoise, no up, no down. Very deep spiritual stage. Sahaj Avastha is Turiya Avastha. The highest spirituality stage ever means you're one with Vaheguru. That's what it's talking about. And then it says, Kar Paya. In your house, when Amazon delivers to your house, that can mean Kar Paya. It came to my house. Yeah? But that's not what this is about. Guru Sahib isn't going to be a delivery service sending something to your house. What is this about? This is our Kar. Kaya Nagar. The body is a village. Inside this body, something is going to come here that we wanted. Who's going to come to our house? That's this body. Who's already here, but we didn't see. It says, Nonit Amrit Prabh ka naam. Dehi mein iska bisram. Naam is inside us. Vaheguru is inside us. But there's none. We can't see Vaheguru, but he's here. He's inside all of us. We have the Dasandwar up here. Maharaj says there's a Dasandwar right here. Trikuti right here. We have these power centers of energy. When they wake up in the morning, they're not activated. Persons wake up in the morning and says, Anand, nahi ho raha. But we have it. It's not something that I have and you don't have. We've all got Dasandwar. We're all human beings. From the child who's sitting there, he's got Dasandwar. From the person that wakes up in the morning and says, I wish my life was different. They have Dasandwar as well. The person goes to sleep cussing their world and says, they've got Dasandwar as well. Something called Haga. Your own God. Not mine, your own. Ghar vich hega. You keep it in your house, but is it activated? Mobile phone le lo. If I give you a mobile phone, I said here, everything's here, contract, everything. But kisi ne on nahi kita. They said, kam nahi karda. So phone doesn't work, man. You said you turn it on. No. How's it going to work then? To connect to something, we need to switch the things on. We've got an antenna here. We made a video about this on the channel. It's called the iPhone analogy. Did it iPod when they know iPod Touch? The kids will know about this. iPod Touch connects to nobody. It's on Wi-Fi only. The iPhone connects. That's the only difference between the two. iPhone can call someone. iPod Touch can't call nobody. Maybe you can say argue WhatsApp. But anyway, point being that this thing, the human life, is here to connect to Waheguru. Without connecting to Waheguru, we haven't called nobody. We've wasted the human life. So because the basic concepts are getting lost, and in the body is our Waheguru anyway, we don't get the Waheguru. And in Punjabi, we all know Punjabi a bit more than sometimes Gurbani. You know the famous poet Bulle Shah? He says something very beautiful. He says, Shoh. Shoh means Lord Waheguru. Because Shoh tere to vakh nahi. Vakh nahi hega, dur nahi hega. Shoh tere to vakh nahi. Bin Shoh duja kakh nahi. There's nothing but the Waheguru. Then he says, Teri dekhne wali akh nahi. It's just about opening up the eyes to see what is there. We can't see. What isn't there, we see that. The illusion is real, but the reality is not clear. To go on to this, now we're going to talk about three things that we should all know. When we talk about Sikhi, we should be telling people these three things. They're basically the philosophy of Sikhi. We always say Naam, Japo, Kirt Karo, Vand Ke Shako. To be honest, if that message was working, then we will see loads of people into the Panth. But we're not seeing that message. It's too simplified, because people can't even explain Satnam to you. There's so many people I've met in my life, and I say, please just do me one favor. Explain to me what Satnam means. Satsang, you take, stop. Ik Onkar. Go back one more word. What's the first letter? Ik Onkar. Nowadays, I went to the Gurdwara in Southampton. They had a big sign up, Ik Onkar, there is one God. That's just the one. What the Onkar? That's Ik. Again. So Satan, if we have tried to get away, if we've forgotten the meanings of the first two words in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the first two words when we get up in the morning and we read part, Ik Onkar, Satnam. Do you see where we are? The Shabad is getting lost, so the Sikhs are getting lost. The Shabad is our Guru. The analogy is very simple. If we understood the Shabad, there'd be more people into Sikhi. That's it. The solution is just there. We understand what Guru Sahib is going to teach us, we'll follow it. So the three things we're going to talk about is that Ik Onkar and the Satnam. It comes part of three things. It becomes a philosophy, then it becomes the Guru's lives and their example. And finally, it becomes Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Guru's lives, because the Guru's lives came up before Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and then the philosophy of Guru Nanak. These are the things that we need to all understand. If we get this, we're sorted. We know what Sikhi is then. We can follow it. If I was to meet somebody and they said to me, what is a Sikh? Or what is Sikh? People find it all the time. Pastor here must know he works in the city. People are always asking us, what is Sikhi? And you know what tends to be said? You know what we tend to say? We say, well, we're Sikhs, we follow one God. We believe in being good people, right? Work hard, share with people, we give them langar. And the Saints, they wear a turban, beard and a sword. And the person's like, oh, thanks. What? Nothing has been told about what Sikhi is in this conversation. This conversation was not about Sikhi. It was just about like the icing on the cake. You went to a baker's, you saw a cake and said, I want to buy that cake please. And say, can I buy that cake? They go, yeah. Can you tell me what's in it? And they go, well, it's got cream on the top, it's got some flowers on top of the cream, and it's pink. Who's going to buy that cake now? No one's going to buy that cake. Because they don't know what it is. But then what's it made out of? If we tell someone the story of the Shaheed, Bhai Mani Singh ne ki kitta, band kataye. Otoni Iton. Tell them why. What was so important to him to get chopped to pieces but not leave his Sikhi? Why was he like that? Why was he fearless? Why was he Nirvair? Why was he Nirpo? Nirpo and Nirvair come after Ikonkar Satnam. They come after that. That's the philosophy of our ethics. But first is the Sikhi. What is it? So the Ikonkar, it's a very deep thing. We've got 5 minutes to just try to cover a little bit of Ikonkar. Normally in the books it's like 5 pages long just to understand Ikonkar. We'll try and do it with just a basic level understanding. The Ik, we know is 1. No one's confused about that. But think about the fact that it's a number. What a beautiful number. It's just a number. No one can confuse it. No one can turn around and say, well, you know, in Persian, Ik da koi hori matlab nikal jata hai. If it was written in Punjabi, there'd be a whole bunch of people that would say there's another meaning to it. It's not in Punjabi. It's a number. You can say any language you want, it's still the same number. The oneness, from that Ik, there was a sound. Om. That's the sound. Kita pasao, eko kavao. That's the sound that made the world. Om. From that Om came Akar, the world, and expanded out. So this is the Big Bang being described to us. Who didn't know this is how the world was made. Maharaj is telling us, from the Ik, there was an expansion with a sound, Om, and it worked, and the whole world was made. 13.7 billion years ago they say this happened. And now, after 13.7 billion years, about 10-20 years ago, right, people started to discover, at the beginning of time, when the Ik became Om, there was an atmosphere there. There was a sound, it wasn't a vacuum. Because everything was so condensed, there was a sound there. And that Om was a primal vibration. Well, how deep is that? If we look at any science, Ikonkar can knock so many things out. The thing I have to understand about this, Big Bang started from a singularity. It started from one point. There wasn't lots of Big Bangs at the same time. There's only one, and it started from singularity, from the Ik. So we got that in Sikhi as well. We also know that time did not exist before the Big Bang. Time is a dimension. So when we say the such, Jug the such, that's saying before time, it was true, and when time started, Jug it was also true. The science will tell us that at the Big Bang, at that one point, that was when time started. Before that, there was no time. It's all in the Mool Mantra. We only got the first paragraph of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. We already covered all the science. Physics is covered here. Maharaj tells in Bani, there's multiverses upon multiverses. Patala, Patal, Lakh, Agasa, Agas. Now, they're coming up with string theory, which talks about multiverses, and more, now they're coming up with bubble theory, which talks about upon multiverses, multiverses. There's clashes between the multiverses. You know the bubble theory, in Bani it says that the world is like a bubble in the water. Budbuda, Ubje bin Seni. It says, like in water, bubbles come up and they go up and down. That's like the world. Now they come up bubble theory. Where does this come from? Guru Sahib tells us that the world has come around many, many times. It's not the only time the world was here. Kai baar pasriyo pasar, sada sada ek ankar. Many times the world has come about, many times it's gone down. Now they're talking about cyclical theory of the world being made. But the world is made, it's called the Big Bang, then there's a big crunch, and it goes back. And Maharaj says, Ik Onkar is a mantra. You can say it again and again and again. Ik Onkar, Ik Onkar, Ik Onkar, Ik. That's the cyclical theory of creation there, in one mantra. So we've come from this one, and the one is not anywhere far away. The one is here. One is inside. We're inside Vaheguru. We're not outside Vaheguru. The world will tell you God is up there. Maharaj says God is in here, God is here, God is everywhere. We're inside Vaheguru. If we can imagine for a second an ocean, and just imagine in our eyes, we're in an ocean. That ocean is Vaheguru. We're inside Vaheguru right now. Vaheguru is not far away. And that one is able to be connected to us from here. We've come from the one, we have to go back to the one. That's what Ik Onkar means. We've come from the Ik. We're all equal. We're all human beings, male or female, black or white. We're all from the same one. There's no difference between us. Everything is explained by this Ek Onkar. And then Maharaj says, Sat. This is the truth. Nothing but this. This is the real truth. The Ek Onkar. Everything came from that one, and we have to go back to that one. This is the truth, Sat. The next thing that happens is, sometimes we say Satnam, and sometimes we say Sat Gur Prasad. Okay? There's a gap there. The Gur Prasad and the Naam can be swapped. The reason for that is because Guru gives Naam. Satguru Sikh ko Naam Tan De. Guru ka Sikh Vadapagi hai. We are lucky because Guru gives Naam. Sat, and then how do we find the Sat? Through Naam. And how do we find the Sat? Through Guru. The Guru comes out of the Sat and takes us back to the Sat. The Naam comes out of the Sat and takes us back to the Sat. It's so beautiful, just Ek Onkar, Sat, Naam, through the name. Whenever you see the Onkar underneath the Mama, just imagine a hand pointing up to God. Naam. Through that Naam we go up to Vaheguru. This is the philosophy. But is it a dead philosophy? Did Maharaj never do anything about this philosophy? Did they just say it and then do nothing about it? No. Guru Sahib put it into practice. Langar was started by Guru Sahib. There's all these things we talk about in their lives, they prove this stuff. And I want to give you two amazing examples that we may not even know about of how Guru Sahib proved this to be the truth. That na koi Hindu, na Musliman, manas ki jaat, sab ek pachhan ko. Do we know that Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji made a mosque? When they were in Kiratpur Sahib, they owned the whole area. Muslims did not have a mosque. They came to Maharaj. So Maharaj, we need a masjid. Guru Sahib not only gave them the land for the masjid, Maharaj made it for them. That place is now called Guru Ki Masjid. It's in Kiratpur Sahib. You can go and see that place. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji gave his head for the freedom of the Hindus to live their life as Hindus. They didn't believe in it, but they gave the head for them anyway. These two examples are unparalleled. No one has ever seen anything amazing as this. So Maharaj didn't just talk about it, they did it. This life that they told us about, Ek Onkar, they proved that to be true. They always treated human beings as the same. This ethics is what we're following now. Gurdwara, anybody can come to Gurdwara. Anybody can have langar in Gurdwara. In this Gurdwara now, there's people who are sleeping in 17th Gurdwara who are from all parts of the world. Polish, South Indian, Chinese, white, whatever they are, they're welcome. This does not exist anywhere else. Don't think this exists. If you go to a mandir or a mosque, just for a visit, go for it. You come away thinking, where's the langar? You come away thinking, what's up with all these idols? I don't get it. Why don't they worship the Shabbat? Sikh is so beautiful. It's made us so used to something which is so amazing. We start wondering, oh, everybody else must have it, right? But they don't. They don't have it. When you go outside, the world is lost. Sansar rogi, naam daru, mail lage, sach bina. This truth is so beautiful, we're blessed by it. But like Kabirji said, the ocean, the pool, Sarovar is full of pani. But we're thirsty for it as well. We're not drinking it. Because there's a massive gap. Our understanding of Gurbani is not here. The Prachar is not happening. So, Guru Granth Sahib Ji actually shows this Ek Onkar as well. Because inside Guru Granth Sahib Ji, it's not just the Gurus. There's 36 people's writings in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Only 6 are the Guru. 30 other people. Some were Hindu, some were Muslim. Some said Allah, 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 Kabir. You know these Kabirji who were saying Ram, Ram, Ram. They're all in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Because the truth is one. Vaheguru is one. We've come from the one, we have to go back to the one in our house. Jaako aaye, sohi mein hajo. Har gurte mane mein sera. And we said later on ki, sab mein hai jyot. Jyot hai, sohi. Inside us is the light of Vaheguru. But how do we get that light? Sab mein hai jyot, jyot hai sohi. Tis de chanan, sab mein chanan hoye. But Guru Sakhi Jyot Pragat hoye. But the Guru's teachings, that light gets enlightened. To see that light, we need a guru. That's why Ik Onkar Sat Gur Prasad. The guru is here to teach us how to go back and get that enlightenment. It's not about normal life. It's not about normal life. It's an abnormal life. It is an enlightened life. Not many people have this life. This gyan that Guru is giving is amazing. We're going to do this the last few minutes now, and we'll finish off with Simran. So Sasanji, when we started talking about the philosophy of Sikhi, we talked about the oneness, that Guru Sahib lived that oneness, and Guru Granth Sahib Ji teaches us that oneness. Now we can understand the answer we posed at the beginning. Why do people want to destroy Sikhi? Because this oneness is not what people want in the world. The people that are in charge of the world, they do not want this Sikhi to be up. Because what the Sikhs will do is they will teach people this truth. What the Sikhs will do is they will become free and they will free everybody else. We are going Sarbat Dapala every day, 4 times a day we are saying Sarbat Dapala. So when we become successful and we become free from all the abundance of the world, the Sikh Panth is going to go outside and free everybody else as well. We're not the kind of types to sit there with our langar in our hands and eat it ourselves. We're Vandaki Shakal Wale. We're those people that are going to go out and say, you know what, I got my kirpan, I'm free, I'm going to make you free as well. That's why people don't like Sikhi, because we are nirpal, we are nirvad. Don't hate no one, but we have no fear to spread this truth. And this world doesn't want this truth to be pargat, especially in India. Because who controls India? A small minority of people that make all the money in India. Not the population that we think, the Hindu population. They don't control India. It's the government. And who's behind the government? The rich people. You know they had that protest in Wall Street and they had it in St. Paul's, Occupy. We're the 99% and you guys are the 1%. That's what's happening in India. The 1% control India. The 99% want Sikhi. We're so concerned about the 1%. We say, oh, 1% both money. Who's going to fight the 1%? The Khalsa Panth has been made to do that job. That's their responsibility. Khalsa, Akal, Purakh ki, Fauj. We come with that job. Guru Gobind Singh has come to say, Taram chalao, dusht, ubaran. Maharaj has come to destroy the dusht and to set up Taram. Righteousness, justice, food for everybody. That's how we say, Deg, Deg, Fateh. To understand this Nara, Sikhis in that Nara. Deg means food. Not just Prashad, what we have here. That's not the only Deg. It means food. So therefore basic human rights. And Deg means a Kirpan, which means justice. So Deg, Deg, Fateh means let the whole world have food and justice and human rights. That's our Nara. No one else has that Nara. No one says, Nanak Naam, Chardi Gnate Repane, Sarbat Da Pala, Deg, Deg, Fateh. This is a very unusual path. That's why the Siddh said to Nanak, Tera path, Nirala hai. Nirala. It's a unique way to give to everybody, regardless of who they are. We want this for everybody. That's why they want to finish this path off. That's why we want to finish this path off, because we are unique. We want to spread the truth about life. This truth that we worship. So the new way forward, Sasangaji, summarize this talk, last few minutes. New way forward is to look long way ahead. It says in Ramadili ki Vaad about Guruji, it says, Maharaj, Nede dekhe maat log tud sujje dur. The world is seeing very close. They're only interested in their own interest. America will proudly say, we are representing the American interest abroad. They only care about the American interest. They don't care nothing about the world. There's a Sikh, can any Sikh leader stand up and say, with their heart and heart, can a Sikh leader stand up and say, we want to represent the Sikh interest abroad? No. They say, wait, who are you to represent the Sikh interest? We are Sarvat Dapala. The Sikhs themselves will say to the Banda who stands up and says, Sikh interest? No, Sarvat Dapala interest. You see this amazing way? The Sikhs are not interested in their own interest, they're interested in the whole world's interest. But the rest of the world sees this as normal, that we should only care about our own interest. The Panth says no, let's care for everybody. So what we need to do is to look forward. We need to realize we are at war at the moment. We are at war. They are fighting us right now, so we need to take over that battle, start winning it. I'm going to give you just one example. The first thing we need is unity. The unity doesn't come about from uniformity. If you walk around saying to everybody, if you look like me, get a pag on like me, to come like me, and then we'll all be fine. That's never going to work. Because it will never happen. So rangi pati kar jinsi. Maya in your mind. Waheguru made the world of rang, berang. Different colours. It's never going to happen. Uniformity is not going to happen. It's a false god. It's never going to be there. So what's the only thing that can happen? Unity. Unity means ignoring the differences and uniting on the similarities. We got Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we got Gurbani, we got Shabad. Let's stick to Shabad Gurbani. Let's teach our kids what Ek Onkar and Satnam means. They can say that, they'll be happy with their life. Because everything comes from Sarab Sukham, or from Naam. Nowhere else. The second thing after having unity is, as I said, is teach the basics. I'm going to just talk through what we're doing, because we're not the only people. Loads of people are helping us in this, but this initiative by Base of Sikhi, where you might see the leaflets outside, it's very simple. We need to become systematic about a war. When you fight in an army, and I was in the British Army for 4 years, maybe that's the reason, I'm thinking this way. You don't fight a battle by just picking up a wet gun and going and fighting. Not everybody in the army is in the infantry. It doesn't work that way. There's a whole organization of how to fight a battle. We're not being allowed to think about how to fight the battle. We need to think carefully. We need to get organized, make a plan, 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, where we're going to be. The first thing we need to get our kids into Sikhi, make them think Sikhi is cool. Because Sikhi is very, very cool. I can tell you, I thought I was cool, but once I came into Sikhi, I realized what is coolness. The real coolness is here. Kaltati, Thanda, Harnam. Maharaj says this himself. He says Naam is the coolness. Because the world is burning. Kal Tati is hot. Tati Maulagi. Parabhram Sarnai. What is it going to come from? From the Naam. The real coolness in here is going to come from Naam. Make a bit of a joke of it. Point being though, we've come up with a plan. We're hoping now just to do 2 minutes to explain the plan to you, and that all of us go with it. So I said, all we've got to do, plan 1 is to get people into Sikhi. So spice up here, they'll connect the Sikhi camps, we get them into Sikhi. The next thing is to teach them the history and the philosophy. Now we set up a 1-day course, we ran in Sabha recently, very successful, just about the philosophy of Sikhi. What is Sikhi all about? What is Waheguru? What is Guru? What is a Sikh? What is the breadth of Sikhi? What's the depth of Sikhi? Then we teach them the history. So we set up a 12-week course. Starts from Guru Nanak, and you go up to now. Learn all the history of Sikhi in 12 weeks. Obviously the basics. Yeah? But once we teach them the history, and get into Sikhi, get into history and the philosophy, the next thing is very simple. What we need to do is just teach people Gurbani. Just teach them Gurbani, that's it. Let them loose at the Shabad. The Shabad is that powerful, it will change their life. All our youth right now, when they come to Gurdwara, they should just get told 3 things. The philosophy, the history, and how to understand the Shabad. That's it. Once they get to stage 3 and they can read Gurmukhi, the next thing is teach them Japji Sahib. What does Japji Sahib actually say? Because I can tell you a lot of days, there's a lot of kids that read Japji Sahib, that hear Japji Sahib, but they have not got a clue what they're reading. Because Japji Sahib is the deepest philosophical text on this planet. It is. It's so deep. It's only 20 minutes long to read. It's so deep. We need to understand this deepness. When we give people the depth and the skill sets to actually achieve this, then they can go on further. The only thing after Japji Sahib is then Job Sahib or Lala Sahib. Keep it well. Just teach them more part. That's the only aim. Only thing we should be trying to do on this stage, in this Gurdwara, in anywhere as a Sikh, is to join Sikhs to the Guru, Shabad. When a Sikh has a Shabad inside them, then they will say, Tati van lage Parabhram Sarnai, Chaukir Hamare Ram Kar, Dukh lage na pai, Satgur Pura Petya, Tin Banat Banai, Ram Naam Aukhad Diya. He's giving me the medicine of Ram Naam. Then they will say, Surat Mahalla Panjwa, Guru Ka Shabad Rakhwari. The Guru Shabad is my protector in this world. That's what the Guru Shabad is. It keeps us in this world. Where the hot winds won't touch us, but the Guru Shabad is with us. So Sikh, he is a priceless jewel. Life is a priceless jewel. For us to realize this in the next 2013, we need to just one thing, is to connect to our Guru's Bani. Because our Guru left us nothing but Gurbani. They didn't leave us a country, they didn't leave us a big inheritance, they didn't leave us money. They left us Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They left us the Gurbani that they left behind. All the Bani, but just Guru Granth Sahib Ji is good to start from. Understand just Japji Sahib from the beginning is the deepest text there is in the world. And yet Sikhs read it every day. For 500 years we've been reading this. That Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave up his 4 sons. We know that, right? We just celebrated their martyrdom. Satsangat Ji, if Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave up his 4 sons, he did it for one reason. Because there was thousands more like them living. Jeevat kai hadar. That's the only reason they did it. Because it was worth it. So we, as Sikhs, need to start stepping up and thinking, if Maharaj gave up his 4 sons, he did it for a reason. Because there was many more like them out there. So we need to become those many more like them out there. We need to make it worthwhile for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Otherwise he will say, oh, I gave up my 4 sons. But where are the people that are going to replace them? Where are the Jeevat Kai Hadar? Sanu banna hega. So Maharaj Kirpa kare. Let Guruji feel that the Sikhs want to stick to their Shabad. Let Guru Sahib feel that it was worth it for them to sacrifice their 4 children for us. And let us stick to Gurbani. Because mat vich Ratan Jawahar Maan. Je ek Guru ki Sikh suni. Listen to Gurbani, we will get all the jewels that are out there. Maharaj will bless us that. So, listen to our Guru. The first thing is to find out what does now mean. Sadhu Sam, Sikhayo now, and then live it. Let's make that now Pargat. So we understand God does open up. We do start experiencing the divine. We start getting the Anand. When we say Anand Sahib, we mean it. We don't just say Anand, we don't know what Anand is. We know what Anand is. We're just saying, Wah, Anand Paya Meri Mai. It's true. Oh my mother, I have found bliss from Gurbani. Spiritual bliss. So we'll finish off with Gurbani and the Guru Shabad. Vaheguru Guru Mantra hai. With this mantra we're going to just get now and destroy all the dukhs in our life. And obviously the videos are on the YouTube channel and all the Katha Japsa on the YouTube channel. So let's all join together as Guru Sikhs and let's go back to our Guru Shabad, try to understand what was Maharaj's message for us. Why did we come on this world? Ji, there's a clue in this year. It's 2013. It's be tera. Let's say this year, Guruji, I'm going to walk towards you. This year I'm going to try and learn your Shabad. I will be yours. Be tera. Ola Waheguru, let's be his for this year. Let's try our best to learn Guru Shabad, to live upon this life, because there are so many jewels waiting for us to be discovered right here. Let's drink up the water so that the thirst of Kaljuk doesn't hurt us. Pura Chukadi Kya Bakshi Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Satnam Vaheguru Sahib Jiyo Tanaswari Mahalla Panjwa Jiska Tan Man Tan Sab Tiska Soi Sughada Sujani तिन्ही सुनिया दो सुख मेरा तो बेघन की खटानी जी की कही पैमानी और जतन कर रहे बहुत तेरे तिल तिल नहीं कीमत जानी रहा अमृत नाम निर्मूल हीरा गुर दीनो मंतानी डिगन डोले तड़ कर रहे हो पूर्ण हुए त्रितानी होए जो बीच हम तुम कश होते तिनकी बात मिलानी अलंकार में थैली हुई है ताते कण तुम खानी प्रटे जोत सहज सुशोभा बाजे अनहद बाणी कह नानक ने चल कर बांधे गुर की बंधानी प्रटे जोत सहज सुशोभा बाजे अनहद बाणी कह नानक ने चल कर बांधे गुर की बंधानी वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
Vaheguru Vaheguru